Alright, let's talk about Ilhan Omar. The story she tells is beautiful, heartwarming tale. A poor little refugee girl fleeing war and persecution who rise up to become a symbol of American dream. It's a perfect Hollywood script. The only problem, it might be missing a few key details for the first act. We're always told she fled Somalia because of a civil war, and that's true as far as this goes. In 1991, when she was just about 8 years old, the country collapsed into chaos. She says armed gunmen attacked her family compound in Mogadishu and they had to run. It's a terrifying story and it happened to countless people. But here's the part they always leave out. Who was her family? According to her own widely reported biography, her father, Nur Omar Mohammed, wasn't just some random guy. He was a colonel in a Somali army under the dictator Siad Barre. Her grandfather, Abukar, wasn't a peasant farmer. He was a director of Somali's national marine transport. These weren't just people caught in a crossfire of random civil war. They were part of a ruling class that had civil war was fighting to overthrow. See, when a brutal dictator like Siad Barre is overthrown, the people who overthrown him aren't exactly handing out flowers to his army colonels and government officials. They're seeking revenge. They're settling scores. So when Ilhan Omar's family fled, were they fleeing senseless violence, or were they fleeing the consequences of their own association with a regime that had oppressed its own people? It's a question that mainstream media has absolutely no interest in asking. They fled Somalia and spent 4 years in Kenyan refugee camp. A horrible experience, no doubt. But then they were resettled in the United States in 1995. They went from being connected elites in a failed state to being refugees in the most generous country on earth. And what did Ilhan Omar did with that incredible gift? She learned English, became a citizen, and eventually got elected to Congress, where she now spends her time railing against the very country and system that saved her. The hypocrisy is just staggering. She presents herself as a champion of the downtrodden, a voice for the oppressed, but her own family was a part of a system that did the oppressing. She fled the consequences of that system, was given a new life by a country she now calls systematically racist, and uses her platform to demand we tear down the borders that protected her. It's a circle of such breathtaking hypocrisy it could power a small city. This isn't about attacking a refugee, it's about demanding honesty. If you're going to build your entire political identity on your origin story, then that story had better be the whole truth, not a sanitized PR approved version that leaves out the inconvenient details about who your family really was and why they might have actually needed to flee. The American people deserves a full story, not just a highlight reels.